Right guys, welcome to another video. A really short one for you this time, but I was having a think the other day and I remember back to last winter. I had one of my best winters ever, and one of the things that I was doing was using sweet corn along with my normal S-core boilies, but I was just tweaking it slightly to add a little bit more attraction and just, you know, pimp it up slightly. So I thought I'd show you my little edge with sweet corn, which can just give that extra bit of attraction around your baited area and help you put more fish on the bank in the cold water. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. Right guys, so firstly I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far. Been really amazing the last couple of months really. Lots of really positive messages and thumbs up for my videos, so thanks guys. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please think about doing so. I've got a winter competition coming around Christmas and lots more instructional videos like these, but also going to be putting together, you know, a bit of a series of winter vlogs documenting my fishing over the cold water period. So yeah, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and let's get on with the rest of the video. Here's a little look at the ingredients you'll need for this awesome little addition to one of the all-time best baits in my opinion, and this particularly comes into its own in the winter because it just adds that bit of attraction and you don't need to use an awful lot of food, so you're not filling up the fish, but it's just extra attraction around your bait. So obviously we've got good old sweet corn. I prefer the tin variety for this. It's just a bit firmer, it sort of seems to absorb the ingredients a little bit better. I've got some of the Richworth S-core serum there, which is an amino acid blend which triggers fish to feed, and it's nice to have some liquids to add which can leach out into the lake bed and help hold fish in your swim for longer. I've got some salt there. I like to use the pink Himalayan variety. It's got a lot more minerals and good sort of stuff for the fish than the normal sort of table salt. Got some garlic granules, quite an underused ingredient really, but garlic is a well-known feed stimulant and also attractor for carp, and it's also good for the fish. It helps their digestion and immune system, so it's always good to give them something that's good for them, isn't it? We've got some betaine there, available from a lot of bait suppliers and tackle shops and even online, so just have a little search for betaine. That's another sort of amino acid addition to this bait, but in powdered form. I like to have a liquid, you know, a liquid sort of amino, and then a powdered one just for different dimensions, different sort of release into the lake. And finally you're going to need something to mix it all in. I tend to use a sandwich bag because you know, you can sort of zip it up and use it on your next session if it's not too long, you know, or freeze it or just pop it in the fridge depending on how long between sessions. But also it sort of folds down nicely and doesn't take up a lot of room in your bag. So yeah, a sandwich bag or a container of your choice. So yeah, as I said earlier, this video is about my edge with sweet corn, just to make it a little bit more attractive. I like to use this in the cold water months when the fish are a bit less sort of active and, you know, their senses are a little bit diminished because of the cold water, and this can just help alert them to baited area and also keep them in the area longer because the liquid content sort of leaches into the lake bed, keeps the fish rooting around even after the food's gone. So first of all, from your list of ingredients that I've already showed you, take your sandwich bag. Here it is, and we're going to put in a whole tin of sweet corn into there, so, and that's including the liquid as well, so there we go. Okay, so there goes that in there. Now next, because you got liquid in there already from in the tin, you want to add some of your S-core serum, which is an amino acid blend, and it pimps everything basically. I put it in everything from pellets to boilies and, you know, sweet corn obviously, and it doesn't really have a smell as such. It's got, you know, just a bit of a natural sort of fishy smell I suppose, but not a very strong smell, so it doesn't really taint the bait. It just adds an amazing sort of feed stimulant. So into the bag of sweet corn we'll put around about 20 ml, so 4 or 5 teaspoons full. There we go. It's not a lot, it's just enough to kind of soak into the sweet corn and then sort of leak out on the lake bed. Hopefully pull some fish into the swim for you. So yeah, so we've got that in the bag there. Give it a bit of a mix around just to get all the grains of corn coated. There we go. And then next into the bag, we've got our salt. And what I like to do here is I'll put it in the bag like that and twist the bag around so it kind of holds it all in, and then you can grind it in there. And next to go in is your garlic granules. Quite stinky. We all know what garlic smells like, but the fish seem to love it. And I don't go mad, you know, it's probably no more than about half a teaspoon or so in a tin of sweet corn. So yeah, we'll put a bit of that in. There we go. And that just adds a bit of a flavour, but also it's a bit of a feed stimulant for carp, and it's good for their immune system in the winter. I think koi farmers will use it to help the fish sort of sustain cooler conditions, and it helps them get rid of parasites and things like that. And it also can trigger them to feed when they're not particularly feeding. So yeah, I've seen some good results on garlic in the past, so yeah, stick it in your sweet corn. And finally, the last ingredient is the powdered betaine. I'm sure if you read the magazines and look online, you'll have heard of betaine. It's a brilliant feed stimulant, again quite expensive, so don't use a lot. We're going to put in here just a pinch really, probably a quarter of a teaspoon again. Here we go. A little bit more. And that just adds another dimension. Little bits of that, they sort of like dissolve in the water and kind of spread around, and just gives the fish something to home in on and a different dimension to your sweet corn. So once you've done that, zip your bag up, give it a good shake around, and then what you want to do is let that stand for maybe sort of half an hour or so. So I'd normally either do this at home before I come or the night before, or sort of do it first when you get to the lake, and then you can sort of let it stand while you set up the rest of your gear, and then it'll be ready to use. So if you stay tuned, I'll show you the rig that I like to use with this, and also hopefully a bit of underwater footage of what it looks like in the lake. So here's the rig I like to use over my sweet corn. It's my normal sort of blowback rig. Hopefully you can see that there. So ring on the shank and shrink tube kicker, and tipped with fake corn there, so it sort of matches the freebies that we're putting out, and a 15mm S-core bottom bait there, and then a bit of putty there just to help the hook turn, and then another bit of putty and a loop at the end to attach to a quick link. And then usually I'll fish that over a little handful of the S-core boilies, and also a little handful of the corn that we've just made there. Now I'll just show you how it looks underwater with the boilies and the corn and the rig sat in amongst it. So yeah, I'll show you that now. So there you go, the perfect little way to improve the attractiveness of your sweet corn. If you've enjoyed the video, remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and yeah, look out for future videos. Okay, cheers for watching, and I'll see you soon.